Dear students, Assalamu alaikum and many good wishes. I am MD Atikur Rahman, Assistant Professor of English, Bandarban Cantonment Public School and College. I hope that all of you are very well and good by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am also very well. I would like to welcome all of my students to my presentation on modifiers part 7, lecture 12. In our previous classes, we took a detailed discussion on the different types of modifiers. Today, I would like to draw your attention to a question pattern. How you will prepare yourself to answer the question. Student, please, there is a gap. There is a passage, and in that passage, you are getting 10 gaps. First, take a close reading of the question. It is very important. A close reading of a question is very important to understand, to achieve your skill, answer accurately. The more attentively you will take reading of the question, the more accuracy you will get. Okay, Napoleon, a gap. Post modify the noun with an appositive, was a great hero. Napoleon was a great hero. After the Napoleon, you are getting a gap. Here, you are instructed to use an appositive. He won many battles and conquered countries in Europe. Conquered dash countries. Hey, within bracket, you are getting a clue. Use quantifier to pre-modify the noun. You student will have to use a quantifier in that gap. One day he was walking along the seashore. Suddenly he noticed a dash thing. A dash within bracket use an adjective to pre-modify the noun. Thing is the noun, and this is the head word. This head word should be modified. D gap use an article to pre-modify the phrase, noun phrase. English boy was making a small boat. English boy is a noun phrase, and this noun phrase will be modified with an article. The king asked him why he was making dash a small boat. Use determiner to pre-modify the noun phrase. Student, by this time we have learned what is the determiner, how determiner can be functional as a modifier. The boy said, I shall cross the sea. F gap. Country is on the other side of the sea. Use possessive to pre-modify noun. Yes, possessive can be used here. I shall go to my country by dash boat. Use a demonstrative to pre-modify noun. I didn't see my mother for a long time. Let me go to my country. Gap, my mother. Within bracket, use an infinitive phrase to post-modify the verb. In the previous lecture, we took a discussion on the infinitive and infinitive phrase. Here, you are instructed to use infinitive phrase to post-modify the verb. The king was use an adverb to pre-modify the adjective. Summed at the words of the small boy. Here, an adverb should be used. He made use determiner gap here arrangement to send him to his country. In that gap, you will have to use a determiner. This is the question. If you have the confusion, please, second time question reading is also necessary. Student, please, this is the answer. For those 10 gaps, for the first gap, you can use the king of the French, appositive, many, quantifier, strange, adjective, and article, such, determiner, my, possessive, this, demonstrative, to see my mother, an infinitive, phrase, very slash highly, adverb, all, determiner. And this is the answer. But this is not clear to you. This is not the way of having skill in the use of the modifiers. Now, what is the appropriate way? How you will take practice? This is how you will take practice. This is how you will have to follow. Here, first sentence, Napoleon, gap, post modify the noun with an appositive, was a great hero. Napoleon will be post modified with an appositive. Napoleon, the king of France. This is the answer, the king of the France. If we take two words side by side, had what and the modified what and the modifier, I think this is very clear. Student, please, one thing is very important here. You will have to think simultaneously modified word and the modifier. Either it might be pre-modifier or post-modifier. But whenever you will correlate with the head word with modifiers, and I think it will be very easy to understand. Napoleon, the king of the French, was a great hero. Here, the king of the French is an appositive. He won many battles and conquered. Use quantifier countries in the Europe. If you use many for that gap as a quantifier, I think the sentence creates a complete meaning. Many countries are being modified with the quantifier many. I think this is very clear to you. Okay. Third sentence. One day he was walking along the seashore. Suddenly he noticed a dash thing. Adjective pre-modify the noun. A strange thing. Thing is the head word. Just before head word, if we use a strange, this is very clear to you. This a strange is an adjective and it is functional as a pre-modifier. D. Use article to pre-modify the noun phrase. English boy was making a small boat. Okay. Article can be functional as a pre-modifier. Just an, if we use an, English boy, got the point? An English boy was making a small boat. The answer is very clear. Student. The king asked him why he was making a small boat. Dash. After making, there is a gap. And for that gap, you are getting a clue. Use determiner to pre-modify the noun phrase. A small boat. This is the noun phrase. This noun phrase will be pre-modified with a determiner. If we take the word sus determiner for that gap, I think the sentence is completed. That's why sus is the answer. Sus is correlated with a small boat. This phrase, a small boat, is pre-modified with the determiner sus. I think this is very clear. The boy said, I shall cross the sea. Gap. Use possessive to pre-modify noun. Country is on the other side of the sea. My country. My country. Country is the head word. My is the possessive. Okay. And this is functional here as a pre-modifier. Here possessive my pre-modifies the noun country. I shall go to my country by use a demonstrative to pre-modify the noun boat. The boat is the head word, and this head word will be pre-modified by a demonstrative. If we use demonstrative this for that, okay, I think these boat, this is very clear. This is pre-modifying the noun boat. I think this is very clear. Okay. Next, I didn't see my mother for a good long time. Let me go to my country. Dash. Use an infinitive phrase to post-modify verb. Not an infinitive, but an infinitive phrase. It means 2 plus be1 plus any other related words. If we take to see my mother, I think the sentence is completed. I didn't see my mother for a good long time. Let me go to my country to see my mother. Here, infinitive phrase to see my mother post modifies the verb go. I think this is very clear to you. The king was use an adverb to pre-modify the adjective. Summed at the words of the small boy. Highly. Summed is the verb, and if we take adverb highly just before the summed as an pre-modifier, I think the sentence is completed. And the meaning is very clear to you. Here, adverb highly pre-modifies the adjective summed. Got the point? Summed is V3 form. It also creates a sense of adjective here. Okay. He made use determiner to pre-modify the noun phrase arrangement to send him to his countries. All arrangement. Got the point? All is the determiner and arrangement is the head word, and this head word is being pre-modified by the determiner all. I think this is very clear to you. Student, I would like to finish here, and again many thanks for watching this video, and I would like to suggest all of my students, stay home, stay safe, don't waste your time, just try to be entangled